Hey guys, it's Tanya Morgan here for Behind the Gloves. Today is a special day for me because it's my birthday, and I'm getting to sit here and spend my birthday with none other than boxing legend that is Lennox Lewis. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy birthday, by the way. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to be here, and you was born not too far away from here, right? Are you feeling at home being back in East London? I saw on your Instagram story you went and got some fish and chips yesterday.
Man, that's my weakness. What can I say? Yeah, the place has really changed up. A lot of big buildings, and I get lost. So, still the vibrant, still moving, still got the vibe. So I'm happy to be here.
Does it feel like you're home when you're here, or where do you really feel like you're at home? I know you're like a citizen of the world, but is there one place that you feel like I'm home when I'm there?
A great question. Where I lay my head.
Nice.
That's where I feel like more at home.
Okay, cool. So just to talk about your career, so you retired as undisputed heavyweight champ, right? And at what point did you think during your career, like, wow, I've made it, like I made my dreams come true?
I think after my first belt, obviously I want to be heavyweight champion of the world, but then, there's 4 belts out there. So I want to win all four belts, and that was a goal of mine. So it first started with the first belt, and then the second belt and third, and it just went on from there. And then I said, well, I want to be undisputed, and in order to be undisputed, you have to win all the belts.
And your fights and even your press conferences has gone down as being like boxing history. What stands out to you as being like the highlight of your whole career?
I've got a lot of different highlights, different press conferences, different fights that really stick out. So I can't really pick one of them. I mean, if you look at my history and look at any fighter that you like, such as look at Tyson, for instance. The Tyson press conference was great. It was mad in one sense. I've never been bitten by a human being, and he bit me. But I'm gonna talk about this on September 6th. I've got a one-man band at the Indigo at the O2, where I'm gonna go through a lot of different fights and talk about a lot of behind-the-scenes things that people haven't heard before, and they'll be happy to hear these things, and probably didn't even know, Don King came to Africa to try and talk me into releasing one of my belts, and we left him on the island because we went onto this island and we were eating some food and having a party on the island, and then they said, oh, we got to go because the tide's when it gets dark, the tide comes in. So we took a boat and we left, and we realized we left Don King on the island. So we had to send the boat back for Don King, and I know it was sad, but he came all the way to Africa. Then we left him on the island. I know it was bad, but stories like this we're gonna go through, so that'll be exciting.
Wow, so people are going to get to come and basically have a night of you telling stories. That's what the whole thing is, you telling your boxing stories?
I'm going to be telling stories. I'm going to be showing some films. Some of my friends are going to be there to share their stories with me, some ex-boxers, and you'll know them. So it's going to be an exciting night.
Wow, so there's so much people don't know. Like, people don't know you and Tyson actually knew each other since you was kids, right? You didn't end up fighting until you was like in your 30s, but you knew each other since you was kids and things like that. People are going to get to just hear everything from your point of view. And yeah, how can people find out more about it?
Well, like I said, it's at in September 6th, Indigo, O2. It's online. You can look about it. And I was going to tell you this story as well. The fact that when I won the World Junior Championships in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic in '03, I said that, one of the guys on the team said, oh, you didn't box the best. I said, who's the best? They said, oh, this guy named Tyson. He lives up in New York. His trainer don't like taking the plane, and he don't like taking the plane either. I said, okay, cool. So me and my trainer took a car, and we drove up there. And we met Custom Motto, we met Mike Tyson, and, I remember him being a nice kid. He took me in his room. He hanged up a sheet, and he was showing me old footage of old fighters that I've never seen ever in my life. And he was showing me how different boxers do different things and what their art is of the art of boxing. So, I definitely remember those times, and you're going to hear about them September 6th. So
wow, it sounds like just an absolute perfect night for anyone that loves boxing. In terms of what you've been doing since all of that, how have you managed to stay sane? I know a lot of people, when they stop boxing, there must be a huge gap in your life. How have you kind of filled it? What have you been up to? And how have you kept your mind and yourself busy since you retired?
good question. I mean, I've got 4 kids. They keep me really busy. And, I'm always involved in boxing some way. So I do League of Champions Foundation. That's my charity. And what we do is teach boys and girls how to box, and teach them life skills, and, teach them how to win, teach them how to set goals for themselves, different things that, giving back, helping these kids be successful.
And in terms of you being like a boxing fan on the outside of it now, is there anyone that you kind of have your eye on that's doing their thing at the moment that you would be, if you could, let me put it like this, if you could now fight anyone in the heavyweight division, if you could go back to being in your prime, who would you say, you know what, that would be a good fight, me and them?
All of them. All of them. I mean, each one of these guys are special. They've got their own special talent, and they're definitely good at it. And I would have to train for each one of them differently, but it would be a good fight.
And who would you say you would kind of have your money on, either Wilder or Fury? Who do you think has got that?
Let me tell you, both of them punch really hard. Anthony Joshua punches straighter, and his technique is great, and he's got a hard punch. But Wilder's got that wild punch that comes out of the space, basically. And if that lands, that can definitely concuss you. So it would be a really good fight. I would love to see that fight.
So in terms of the Wilder Fury fight, would you be able to say who you think's going to win, or you're not sure on that one?
As the fight gets closer, I can tell you. I can definitely tell you.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we look forward to going to listen to all of your stories. I mean, we just had a little glimpse of it there, and I could literally talk to you all day about that. So guys, check out the information to find out more about what's going on at the Indigo O2 on the 6th of September, and we look forward to catching up with you there. Thank you so much for making my birthday.
Make it a date and don't be late. Give me a hug, your birthday.
Oh, thank
all right.
you. Thank you, guys.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else